For you. Tell us about working on Banshees.
I mean, it was fantastic. I'd obviously, Martin, of course, is a playwright as well, and I think that's exactly right. That really good playwrights know that tragedy and comedy,
But that's life.
Exactly. What did they say? Comedy is tragedy plus time. But yeah, I'd worked with Martin on 2 other plays of his. I'd done The Cripple of Inisherin and The Beauty Queen of Declan. So I got call from my agent saying, would you like to screen test for this? And I'm a huge fan of his films as well. Like, I loved In Bruges and I loved Seven Psychopaths. So didn't get to read the script, but I got to read the scene. And
because they're very selective. I mean, they wouldn't give you the whole story. You just got what you could have.
No way. But I do know, like, Martin he's so exact as a director and he's so exact as a playwright. So I knew when I got, sometimes you get an audition, you kind of go, you play with the line or something like that. But I knew to learn it exactly and say it very precisely. And so I just thought the scene was hilarious. It was the scene that ended up
the bread van
the bread van scene with Colin, and I kind of forgot about it then. And then a couple of weeks later, I got the call from my agent, but he included an email from Martin to say that he really liked the tape and thanks for doing it, and I got the part. He said, but he'd forgotten that he'd written a line and he kind of had cut it out, and he said, I really liked your take on it, so I'm putting that line back in. So it's the last line of the scene, so I think it's the funniest one as well.
Okay, but it is a great scene, because you're there to get a lesson in playing the fiddle.
Yes.
Do you play the fiddle?
No, I don't play the fiddle.
You do now.
I do now, yeah. No, I'd done an opera before called The Second Violinist, and I played the second violinist. And I don't sing. I didn't even speak in that one, and I never had to learn it. So I got away with murder on that one. So with this one, I knew Martin was going to, not make it easy for me. So I had to go and get some fiddle lessons. And I thought, I just have to pretend I know how to do this. But no, they made me learn.
In a Martin McDonagh film, you thought you could pretend? Good luck with that.
I kind of thought, like, I'll get away with it if I'm able to kind of convincingly move my fingers and my hands around. But no, I got a teacher called Donal McCaig, who I didn't realise, but he's the rock star of Irish trad music. It was right over my head. But he gave me a couple of lessons.
Jimi Hendrix of the fiddle.
Pretty much, yeah. That's exactly who he was, yeah. I've learned he's just a god of the trad world now. But he gave me a couple of lessons, and over 2 months I went into the spare room at home, and Claire would put on her headphones and I'd screech this thing. And I wasn't getting anywhere until I just told myself one day, just play it fast. And then suddenly it just started to happen. So I can play 2 tunes badly.
Well, at least you played it. Now, I have to. The people I've talked to about who've worked on Banshees and everything, there's almost a lack of ego with the actors on it. That the shared experience. It doesn't matter if you're like Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, the Oscar nominees, Barry Keoghan, and yourself. You still had the same kind of hang-ups, insecurities, and everything when coming into actually playing your role and rehearsing for it.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that, because you read with them as well, apart from doing your own role.
Yeah, like Martin, you don't change Martin's words, and he brought us into rehearsals for a week. Now, I had a tiny part, but I was there the whole week, and he asked me to kind of to read in opposite people. So
significant. It was small, but significant.
Yeah, I mean, really. I suppose it drives the plot on, but compared to what Brendan and Colin were supposed to do, and Kerry as well. So I was in the room for a week watching these amazing actors, like Oscar-nominated actors, I would hope. Just incredible, and they were just agonising, like how to. The same that we would do in a rehearsal room. I mean, they're just actors. There's no egos on that set, and it was amazing. Brendan obviously plays the fiddle as well, and we had all these musicians hanging about, and there was some young guys, and they're obviously really starstruck to be watching. We're all in a tent as well, waiting to kind of go in on set, and Brendan would like kind of whip out the fiddle and just start playing a tune. And next thing, you had these lads up and dancing and singing.
That's great.
It was the best crack I've ever had in my life. No egos. Like, it was a really fun gig to do.